Let's see how we'll get sine inverse of minus x is equals to minus sine inverse x. Okay, so what we'll do in inverse trigonometric functions, always we frequently use the concept of assuming let sine inverse of minus x is equals to y. Okay, what will be next step? What will be next step? We always write minus x is equals to sine y. Now question is how it happens. Okay, some people say that sine will go this side and it will be sine of y. सबसे वाहियात तरीका है, सबसे बेवकूफी वाला तरीका है. ओके, सो व्हाट actually happens, what we always do, sine of sine inverse of minus x is equals to sine y. What we take, just like we square of both sides, on squaring both sides, on cube of both sides, on taking log of both sides, similarly what we did, we took sine of both sides. So it is sine of sine inverse minus x is equals to sine of y. And what we know, what is f of inverse of x? It is what? X. If you remember, we studied in matrices, and in 11th also we studied what? If you remember, a asterisk khali dibba equals to khali dibba asterisk a is equals to identity element. So what you fill here, that is your inverse. That is your inverse. So it is f of f inverse x is x only. So it is sine of sine inverse minus x is equals to minus x equals to sine y. So we always skip this step. Okay, we always skip this step. We used to write directly sine inverse minus x is equals to y. So minus x is equals to sine y. What is next? What is next? It is x is equals to minus sine y, and we know the property of sine. It is sine of minus y. Now, just like we took sine of both sides, now what we will do? Sine inverse of both sides. So it will be sine inverse of x is equals to sine inverse of sine minus y. Sine inverse, sine will not be cancelled out. Their effect will be cancelled out. You can't say sine and sine inverse are cancelled out. No, their effect is cancelled out. So it is now minus x from f of f inverse of x. Similarly, f inverse o f of x, it is what? Also x. So similarly, sine inverse of sine minus y will give you minus y. Okay, you can take this minus here, and y is what? Sine inverse of minus x. So what we get? Minus of sine inverse x is equals to sine inverse of minus x. And what we want to prove? This only, sine inverse of minus x is equals to minus of sine inverse x. Okay, now prove cos inverse of minus x is equals to pi minus cos inverse x. What is it? Okay, so again what we'll do, let cos inverse of minus x is equals to y. Now what will be next step now? We'll take cos of both sides. Actual method is that, but generally we avoid this step. We directly write what? Minus x is equals to cos y. Now it's all about trigonometry now. What it will be? X is equals to minus of cos y. Can we write x is equals to cos of minus y? Very good. We can't write this. Cos to minus ko kha jata hai. Okay, so we can't write minus cos y is cos of minus y. So what you can write now? Minus cos y. What you can write? What you can write? Just think about trigonometry. How will you get minus of cos y? Pi plus y or pi minus y in second quadrant and third quadrant. So see what you can write. You can write x is equals to cos of pi minus y, or x is equals to cos of pi plus y. We are going to discuss very important thing. Just focus here. Cos of pi minus theta in second quadrant, it will give you minus cos y, or pi plus theta in third quadrant, it will give you minus cos y. So x is equals to minus cos y can be written in two ways. Okay, so now what we will do? Take the cos inverse of both sides. When you will take cos inverse of both sides, cos inverse of cos will give you identity function pi minus y. So it will be cos inverse of x is equals to pi minus y. And what is y here? Cos inverse minus x. So it is cos inverse of x is equals to pi minus cos inverse of minus x. take cos inverse of minus x in LHS and cos inverse x in RHS. So what are you getting? Cos inverse of minus x is equals to pi minus cos inverse of x. This we need to prove. Now let's see what is here. X is equals to cos pi plus y. Now what we should do? Again, take cos inverse of both sides. What will you get? Cos inverse of x is equals to pi plus y, and cos inverse of x is equals to pi plus cos inverse of minus x. Now if you take pi here, it is cos inverse of x minus pi is equals to cos inverse of minus x. We are getting two answers, but here we are using only one formula. Why? Can you give the answer? Is it correct or any problem is there? Just think. Both are correct, only one is correct. What is here? If you focus, what is problem? In the starting, we studied about PVV, and we noticed very important thing that cos inverse, sin inverse, tan inverse, cot inverse, sec inverse, cosec inverse cannot give beyond PVV. What is PVV of cos inverse x? What is PVV of cos inverse x? 0 to pi. Now look at this step. It is very important. Look at this step. It is cos inverse of x. This is cos inverse function. Its output must be from 0 to pi. It is pi minus y. It is within the PVV or not? Yes, pi minus something will give you within PVV. Now look here. Cos inverse x is equals to pi plus y. It is going beyond the PVV. Actually, we should not do this, because at this step it is exceeding PVV. So we can't do this. Okay. So in this chapter, PVV is very important. Always keep in mind. Okay. So we will not follow this. We will follow only this.